Good day everybody, it's Max and welcome back to another tips tutorial. That's right. And this one is all about cave worms because someone thought it was a good idea to put worms in caves. No, it wasn't a good idea at all. But they're there, so we got to take care of them. So we're going to go over my tips on how it is I approach caves at the different levels. Like, so, when you're a beginner, you only have meats. If you're intermediate, you're going to be able to do health buff and health paste. And then, of course, you'll also be able to do tonics a little later on after that. So let's get into the tutorial. Let's get to it. Okay, so for this tips tutorial, when it comes to cave worms, the more prep you can do, the better it is. Now, obviously, if you're going to be in your low levels, you've got to make some decisions, okay? And then, of course, as you get into levels, then you're going to be able to make more decisions. And, of course, that's going to be really good for you. In the early levels, let's have a look at Tier 1. So I had, and this was a mistake on my part, so let's not look at it too hard. Do not take the Tier 1 paste. It's a waste of points, okay? Now, yes, I mean, if you've gotten all the points out of the way or whatever, but you're not gonna be able to make those decisions in the early tiers. Do not take this paste. Wait until you get to Tier 2, so you can take the herbalism bench and then take the tonics. The tonics are full cures. The pastes are only partial cures. So that's the thing about that. Now that we're talking about the tonics, you will notice I'm going to use two tonics. I have the antibiotic tonic and I have the anti-poison tonic. Now, the anti-poison tonic, of course, is very important for the worms because they shoot poison at you, which is bad, right? And the antibiotic tonic, of course, is for the cave debuff, what I call the lung worm, right? So if you get worm lung, you automatically are going to need this tonic. Now, I usually would get the antibiotic tonic first, then get the anti-poison tonic later. And the reason is because the other two things I want are the health buff paste and the health regen paste. Now, that's because there's a three-front battle you're going to have with the worms. One, your best resource early game for taking on worms is what I have in slot 0, which is meat. It's either meat or fish. Doesn't matter which one, but when the worms hit you with the poison, you're going to start losing health really, really fast. And before you have all these other fancy toys, meat is the bomb. You escape, start eating meat as quickly as possible. Now, I will warn you, you will go through a lot of meat. You go through probably 10 to 15 meat for a two or three worm attack. So be warned about that. Unless you've got a lot of meat, be careful. Don't get into big, huge attacks with worms because no matter how much meat you have, it won't save you. It won't save you. Even at my level, in the high 30s, you can only eat the meat so fast. And if too many worms have hit me, this is where we now need to look at my other cures. The next thing, of course, I'm going for, once I've gotten to level 10, is I'm going to take the health regen paste and the health buff paste. So I'm going to buff up, regen, attack the worms, and then they're going to start, doing damage to me so I can then start eating cooked meat to try and bring that down once they're dead. Now, if you can't kill them, don't try to switch to meat and start eating unless you can escape them. Because it's a catch-22. Their poison really slows you down, and it's basically like a spider's web, and it traps you. And you'll be eating meat thinking, I can get away, and then you're dead, right? So kill them. Finish killing them. Then eat your meat, okay? Then your stage 3 is you've gotten your meat, You've gotten your health buff and your health regen paste. Now have your anti-poison tonic ready and on standby, along with your antibiotic tonic, of course, for any lungworm debuffs from the cave. So in this case, I'm now going to take you to the cave. We're going to break one open. It's going to be a small one. It should only have probably between 1 and 2 worms in it. And we're just doing this for the demo. And then, of course, just to show you how we're going to tackle the worms in that cave. So now I'll bring it right back. Okay, we're here at a cave. And, of course, we're on adventure here in my... I guess this would just be an open world map, right? Where you get to explore this particular region. And so, of course, we're here at the cave now, in just covering everything that we just did under the tech tree. You know, all the things like, you know, having... Where's all my paste? There we go. You know, your tonics, and, of course, getting ready for the buff paste and regeneration paste. We're here at the cave to take on the cave worms. Now, this cave is actually a really good cave, by the way. This cave is in M11, and it turns out there's a lot of ore outside of this cave. Like, you don't really have to go in the cave to get your ore started. Now, there isn't enough ore to actually, like, make an anvil or anything like that. But there is almost enough. So, you know, this actually is a really good cave to kind of start out with. But we are going to go into the cave. Now, I do not have any poison tonic with me for the cave, but that's okay because poison tonic you wouldn't use until the very end anyway. There's only 2 things that are going to save you at the cave worms, right? Attack and meat. All right, that's it. Nothing else is going to save you. So we're gonna do a 6. We're gonna do a 7. Now we're gonna go back to 5, and we're gonna get in this cave, right? And these guys are gonna get awful excited. There we go. We switch to the knife and we start attacking because this one's close to the ground, right? Okay, I am being heavily attacked. Knife. Okay, and then I'm going to switch to arrows because I know that guy is up on a cliff because I seen it before the torch went out. Okay, the attack is over. Okay, so now I want to switch to meat. So you notice that they get their poison attacks stack. Now this is where if we were in a larger cave and we were getting multiple attacks, as soon as you finish the kill, you would have taken your poison paste and kill all that off, right? And if you got any cave debuff, right, the worm lung, as I like to call it, that's where you would now drink your antibiotic tonic as well. So with that, that is basically the fighting of the worms. Now, again, this is a small cave. So, small caves usually only have 1 to 3 worms. Larger caves, though, can have up to 11 worms. And sometimes, just like with this guy, right? You can get into like groups of like 3 and 4. And when 3 or 4 of them are hitting you at once, you basically are paralyzed. You're done. So try not to take more than 2 on at a time. Yes, if you can do 3 if they're like right beside each other and you can stab all 3 of them like within just like moving distance. But then I would immediately back off and go heal. Go take care of yourself. So that's the magical one there, and there's the worm lung there because of course I've been in the cave talking way too long and blah 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 whatever. I don't care. I'm gonna mine this out anyway, so you can worm lung me all you want. I'm going to put this torch down here and we're good to go. Okay, so with that, quick review time on the whole attack of the caves and the cave worms. So, of course, before you get into caving and cave worming, in the early days, your only defense is going to be food, especially meat, right? I mean, that is the only thing you're going to be able to do in the early game before you start getting in higher into the tech tree. Once you get into the tech tree, of course, get the herbalism bench, take your buff and your regen paste. Now, I mean, if you really want to start getting fancy, you could do health restoration paste, which gives you plus 50 health. I don't take it because it's a lot of lilies, right? It's a lot of lilies. Weed is plentiful, but lilies are pretty. Well, I can't say they're not plentiful, but I mean, 20 lily versus 2 lily is it's a lot of lily. But of course, you could take that and of course get 50 health back immediately, which of course is even faster than meat, right? So of course you could do that. Then as you level up a little higher, of course, take your antibiotic tonic and your anti-poison tonic. You're not going to use either of these until after the fight, okay? The only thing that you'll really be using most of the time is you're going to use your pots to gen up before the attack. Start your attack. Don't try to do any more than 2 or 3 at a time. And then, of course, use your visual, right? So get in there with your torch. They come up. If they're on the floor, great. Take them on, right? And if not, severe winds. Awesome. That means my house is going to be all blown up. Well, we're going to head back. This is Max, and this is another Icarus tips tutorial, and I will see you on the next one. Take care.